Miami.
Yeah, hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I'm not here to defend Cecil because I don't condone none of that. That's just garbage. But some of the views that you give sometimes, man, makes me think that I wouldn't want to ask this question, but I'm just thinking since you're a self-professed man of knowledge, that you wouldn't be a racist or a negrophobe, would you?
A negrophobe?
Or a racist?
What is a negrophobe?
Well, that's kind of like the fear of like black people or whatever you hold these type of subtle psychological insecurities.
Am I afraid of certain black people? You bet your sweet ass, my friend. You bet.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, what about
dangerous-looking black people? You bet.
Okay,
like big black guys with a mean look in their face with red bloodshot eyes like 2 a.m. If you're at the ATM trying to take $20 out, you bet I'm terrified.
And so they're the only types of individuals that hang in these areas, huh?
I didn't. How are you? Wait a minute. Did I just say that? It's amazing that the words that I just said, all of a sudden you managed to read that into that. That's not what I said. You asked me if I was afraid of any black people, and I said yes. See, I'm not a bullcrap artist, sir. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be something that I'm not. I'm a human being, and I do have fears of certain. I don't fear too much, but I do fear dangerous-looking people.
And what about me, like Martin Luther King? You call him Martin Luther Coon. Do you think that really? I mean, that's fair.
Do you have any sense of humor, sir? What difference does it make? It's a joke. It's a joke.
Okay. Well, some people. I mean, we, especially being a minority, one of those Negroes.
And don't I also use the word faggot a lot?
Well, that's your real world. You can deal with that.
I see. It's my real world, but coon world is not my real world. So
I don't know.
And what about all the Orthodox Jews? In fact, I just talked about the Beanie Baby this morning with the schmata on it.
Well, when you talk about religion,
sir, I talk about all people with a sense of humor because you have to have a sense of humor to survive, especially minorities.
So this is a cynical program with humor.
It's cynical? Why does it have to be cynical with humor?
Well, some of the comments are cynical.
Like what? What comment have I ever made about black people, for example, that's untrue?
What comment that you've ever made about black people that's untrue?
Very simple question. Let me say it again. What comment have I ever made on this program that I said seriously without being obviously joking that was untrue?
I don't know. I'm just sitting here just listening to the agenda
over a period of time. To the agenda, the Cecil Collins story isn't important because he's...
Okay,
well, wait a minute, sir. The Cecil Collins story isn't relevant whether he's black or white. Does it make a difference what his skin color is?
Well, apparently it does.
Why?
Because it seems to be there are not any other athletes of any of your ilk as far as skin pigment is concerned that hasn't done something either similar or worse that you don't seem to hyperbolize every day in your program?
First of all, it ain't going on right now on the program. How about Steve Howe? How about Bobby Cox, who beats his wife? We've talked about that.
But how about bringing them up again in a
because they're not because there isn't a story in the news about them today, sir. The Cecil Collins story is in the newspaper today.
Oh, so you got some Negrophobes in the Sun Sentinel. And some
in other words, if a black person does something bad, or if there's an ongoing case that's being covered in the media, and there's a new development in it, and even though it's buried way in the back inside page of the sports section, it's a negrophobe. Sir, you're an idiot. I don't have time for idiots. You're a professional coon. I don't have time for professional ethnics, professional fill in the blank, whatever blank it is. I've told you a billion times before. It's very simple, and you want to make it complicated. I deal with people as individual human beings. If it's all that important to you that you're black, that you're white, that you're Jewish, that you're Cuban, I don't have time for you, okay? Don't waste my time. I don't live in that kind of a world. It's crap. It's like the bull crap about blood is thicker than water. That's another pile of crap. People are people, and you deal with them as individuals. That's the way to, and I admit I have a hard time dealing with that. I answered his first question honestly. That wasn't good enough for him. There's all these negrophobes. Everywhere there's a negrophobe. Everywhere this guy looks, under the bed, on the ceiling, over in the ATM line, there's negrophobes all around. Everybody's out to get him because he'd be a Negro, which, quite frankly, I haven't heard that word in a long time. I prefer the word coon to Negro because, quite frankly, at least it's a little bit amusing. Negro sounds like, I don't know, Little Black Sambo or something like that to me. Yeah, like Stephen Fetchit, Negro. That was a very demeaning term. Blacks, it seemed. I mean, blacks was a term that was okay for a while. Then we had to go into African American. Every decade we have to come up with some new term. Why? I have no idea. I guess because it keeps those people in their place, and that's what our society is all about. Which, if this guy would have wanted to talk about that, I'd be glad to agree with him on that because that's true.